Okay, we'd now like to show you how to heat seal a picture. Some people ask us whether you can dry mount and heat seal all in one go. The answer is yes, you can do it. We wouldn't recommend that you do it. As dry mounting only takes a couple of minutes in the press, you're better off sticking the picture down onto the board first, getting it nice and flat, lined up with the board, all happy so that there's no movement, the print isn't going to move around at all, and then heat seal it as a second stage. So we've got this picture. This is the picture that we've just dry mounted earlier. This is already mounted down onto the board. Now with this picture, we're actually going to trim it out flush and then frame it. So what we're going to do is we're going to heat seal it. And using the gloss luster or the Satin X heat seal film, we've cut a piece that's slightly smaller than the board. Because we're going to trim this out, it doesn't have to overhang. If the print was flush, then just allow it to overhang a little bit. So we've cut it a little bit smaller. Okay, we'll fold back around about 2 inches, 5 centimeters of the release line, and put a crease in there. Take your tack cloth, again, caution when you're using a tack cloth, making sure that you're not going to damage the print at all. Okay. Take our heat seal film, position it onto the board. Okay, just tack it down, and again, if you just roll up the heat seal film, again, just give that a little wipe down underneath. You can pull away the release liner. Again, if there's any creases in there, we can just lift it back off, smooth it down, making sure that it's nice and flat and there's no creases. Then we're going to pop this into the vacuum press. So over to the press. Again, because we're heat sealing, it needs to go under the foam, on top of the silicone release. Close that down, close the lid down, put the latches on, and we're going to start the timer. 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Gloss luster heat seal film or Satin X heat seal film, 50 micron, 5 minutes in the press, plus the 20 seconds. So we're going to just bake that. And what you'll also notice is that we've kept the silicone release paper. So once that's processed, we'll show you something that's going to happen with this. Okay, so now that we've processed the print and we've heat sealed it, taken it out of the press, it had already been dry mounted, but we've now heat sealed the surface of it. We can either cut it out, leave it like that, cut it out and frame it, or for added effect, what we're going to do, the silicone release paper that we took off the back of the heat seal film earlier, we're actually going to use this. We're going to scrunch it up. We're going to scrunch it up into a ball. Really go to town on it. Take out some of your frustration. Really scrunch it up. Now this can only work properly with the gloss luster or the Satin X heat seal film. We wouldn't recommend it for any of the others. The texture, the embossed texture, doesn't come through well enough. What we're actually looking to achieve is a leatherette type finish. Okay, so once we've scrunched it up nicely, we're going to just smooth it. Oops, fold it back out. Okay, that gets laid silicone side down, silicone side face down, over the top of the print. And we're going to pop this back into the press. Again, on top of the silicone release. Okay, underneath the foam. So the foam goes up over the top. Making sure that the silicone release underneath is still in line. We'll close that down. Put the latches on, and then we'll start it again. We're going to leave it in there for another 5 minutes. The longer that you leave it in there, up until about 10 minutes, the deeper the texture you're going to get. So leave that in there for 5 minutes and we'll get a nice leather finish. Okay, so that we've processed this, we've taken it out of the press, and as you can see, it's got a crushed antique leather effect over the surface. Again, we can trim this out, and that again is ready for framing.